This is an SM Media production.
Hi, folks. Welcome to the latest episode of the SM Media Pro Wrestling Show. I'm Scott McPike. It is a pleasure, as always, to be your host. I'm delighted, as always, to be joined by Scott Young and what could be possibly the most outdated show we ever do, because we're recording this on Thursday night, 6 hours before the press conference, where it could just throw our predictions away in the water. How are you, mate?
I know I'm good. As you said, this might be one of
I
the
mean,
most.
what the
But to be
hell?
fair, I think we'll cover all bases of what they could do and what we think will happen and stuff like that.
Well, we did. Well, the title of this pod is, and we had this plan last week. We were going to do WrestleMania card predictions, and I've scribbled. You should just look at this paper. It's just full of scribbled out and things like that. Friday night, obviously, just threw a complete span on the works because we obviously saw Cody pass his opportunity on to Rock. I mean, what do you think? What do you think of this whole thing? Like from the week of we want Cody, Rock getting booed at live events. It's just been so almost so bizarre that it must be part of a story.
Yeah, I don't understand what they're doing, B, what they expected to happen, and C, I don't like if someone compared it to WrestleMania 9, the end of WrestleMania 9. I almost think it's worse than WrestleMania 9 because Hogan was still a full time member of the roster at the time.
Yeah,
The Rock's literally came back after what, two appearances? He'd won on SmackDown, him and Pat in theory, and he'd won on Raw with Jinder. And that's all he's done in the last since Cena? Where he comes
yeah,
back now and again. He was 32, him and Cena with the Wyatts.
yeah. He did.
Is
Remember,
that all he's
He
done
did the thing
since?
with Baron Corbin.
Yeah, Rusev, I think it was there as
Yeah,
well.
Rusev. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean, you can't tell me. I mean, well, we've been hearing things all week, and we've been hearing so many different things. We were talking before the Rumble about Punk was. I thought the Punk was the right winner, and when Cody won, as soon as he sent Punk over, I was like, that feels like the wrong call. And then when Cody was pointing towards Roman, and it just felt like they were building this massive fight, which it is. It's the culmination of a story. And now, 2 weeks on, it just feels an absolute non. What I mean, why did Cody win the Rumble if that's just what they were doing? Like that, it's just there's so many different questions to go now.
what I've heard from a few people is Rock and the board made the decision on January the 3rd, 2 days after he had that promo battle with Jinder, that it was going to be Roman Rocket Mania. But no one told Triple H until I think the Wednesday before SmackDown.
Yeah,
So no
right.
one, and Meltzer, who nine times out of 10 is is accurate, is
Meltzer's
getting
very
odds.
close to the Rock, so any word Meltzer's probably coming from the Rock's camp.
Aye, that this when he asked about his different sources, why did Cody win the Rumble if Rock was the plan, and no one could answer it. So that says to me, no one told them that the Rock was coming.
Cody didn't look as if he was. Again, he said that he talked about. I thought it was a really good promo from Cody in terms of he talked about taking counsel, and you just felt watching him. You're like, this. He knows this is bullshit. And sorry for swearing. That
Yeah.
it's not. I mean, how do you feel about Roman? Yeah, we probably wanted to see it, but not in place of Cody.
No. From what has come out today, which we might get into, I don't know what you've got put down, but apparently
I
we
haven't
get
seen anything today. To be fair,
apparently we're getting both. Apparently we're
right?
getting one night. Oh, this is according to Meltzer again. Triple threat isn't happening, and the best possibility that he thinks going to happen is the Rock night one, Cody night two,
Right.
which I
And
was surprised at
that would be
because Roman
fine,
doesn't
and
do two match.
I would be fine with
Aye,
that.
Roman doesn't do 2 matches a month, never mind 2 matches a weekend.
No.
So I'm surprised he's agreed to that. But someone also, I don't understand, why can he not do Roman Rocket Chamber?
Or
Like,
even wait till Saudi or SummerSlam or anything.
like you now have, I don't get back into this, but you now have a big pot of money labeled Brock Lesnar available. So give that to Roman and say, here's your flight to Australia.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure Brock would have get paid a lot of money to do Australia and Mania.
Yeah,
Which
Brock was meant
now,
to fight Dom, wasn't
obviously, yeah, he was meant to fight Dom, they meant to fight Gunter, which I'm quite sad isn't happening.
he?
But
Yeah, so
we
my
all know why it's not.
Yeah. Oh, Brock's
But
done.
yeah,
Brock's not. Brock. I think Brock's done.
yeah.
I don't think we'll ever
But
see
yeah,
Brock again.
I can't see him. Hopefully,
Right.
we don't see him again.
But in fairness, we could be this will go out on Friday afternoon. By then, we probably have some sort of concrete word from WWE because they're not this. We'll have something from this press conference. They're not building this up as the biggest thing in Super Bowl week, which is why they've done it
Aye.
and not giving us something.
Aye, did you see the video of The Rock coming off the plane?
Yeah, how weird did Heyman look? Did you see that?
Yeah, he looked. And I don't know if it's the type of camera they used because he didn't look like he does on telly.
It looks like it's a wee door out the private jet, to be fair.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't look.
So
I
yeah,
personally think, right, and I'll get your thoughts on this. I like what they've done with the press conference. Press conference. See if this was like a normal year. See if this was last year. What a phenomenal idea to do a press conference in Super Bowl week in Las Vegas.
aye.
But I just think right now. And what's the point? They saw. I texted you about this all day on Monday night when they were kind of teasing like Drew getting added to the mix and Sammy getting added to the world heavyweight mix, and that was fine. I'm not. I don't know why they're going down. The Daniel Bryan stuff it worked out, but it wasn't a great plan. Do you know what I mean? They had to
Aye.
Daniel Bryan. It wasn't They had to. They were forced to change that. This isn't to me. This isn't worth the hassle. In my
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's the Daniel Bryan comparison's a strange one because I'm not sure how accurate the comparison is. Because Daniel Bryan was never the guy.
no.
Like no one, Vince, maybe less so Triple H, Steph, whoever, John Laurinaitis when he was there. No one saw Daniel Bryan as the top guy. The fans did.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone in WWE currently sees Cody as the top babyface. The fans pushed for Daniel Bryan in 2014 and they didn't let up, basically. Poor Rey Mysterio.
Well, you had two things. You had two things at that time. You obviously had Punk leaving, which I think kind of angered the fans anyway. And then you had obviously the plan, which was Randy Orton and Batista that year, which was a terrible mate. That was a terrible idea for a main event at WrestleMania. Like it just
Even
wasn't.
Batista, and even I don't know if you've seen Batista's interviews talking about it. He goes, "Why is this happening? I'm
Yeah,
a face. I'm a heel. I'm
yeah,
much better as a
yeah,
heel. Stop bringing me back as a face."
yeah. But that worked out. That worked out for the best, but it wasn't like it was part of a plan. This appears to be part of a plan that I just feel is not needed. It should just be simple. Cody challenges Roman at WrestleMania. They do the build again. The build to the match last year was brilliant. The result wasn't what we wanted at the time, but you kind of as felt as the year has went on. Right, if they're bound towards us at WrestleMania, you can kind of understand it. They've gave him the big win against Brock. He won back-to-back Rumbles. It now all makes sense, and I'm quite happy to see him win it. 40 to me, this just feels completely unnecessary. Just do it the right way. That's
It's
all I'm asking.
you know how for the Becky Ronda Charlotte, 35, they kind of added a bunch of things they didn't need to add, like
Yeah,
Vince taking Becky out and Charlotte, for
yeah,
example. That various things they just added to push this. Like Sasha Bianca's another one. Let's add Reggie to it for God knows why.
hmm
I thought we'd left that when Triple H came in. I thought it was very much point A to point B. But if you're point A to D to C to E to G to now we're getting to B, they're just adding different things for no real reason. And if this presser comes out, it's Rock, Roman, and Cody Seth. Cody's not in the Roman match whatsoever. Yeah, I can't see that ending well because Triple H has gotten through a lot of bad decisions, and
Do you
fans
not
have
think?
been.
Do you not think this has been the one of the very few things in the past, like even 10 years, that's been long-term booking?
Yeah, because
It has.
it's Triple H. Triple H has been a very good long-term booker.
Yeah.
No one does tag team breakups and family breakups better than Triple H.
No, I agree with that.
DIY, KO and Sammy, Bloodline last year.
Look at Carmelo and Trick. And I know that
Exactly.
was Shawn Michaels, but that you could tell there was a bit of influence there, and it's been a good
Yeah.
long-term story with what's
Because
going to
they
be a
talk,
very good.
they'll definitely talk about NXT
Yeah,
and
of
what
course they
they can
will.
improve at. Because they're best pals.
Yeah, of course they will. I just feel as if we're at a stage where I'm not like the Cody and Seth's 3 matches and 2 years ago I thought were good. Obviously, the Hell in a Cell is renowned because of Cody's injury, but I'm not buzzing about the fact if we're going to get Cody and Seth. I don't think that's where we want to be. Do you know what I mean? I'm obviously gutted about Seth and Punk. I know we'll get it down the line, but I don't think this is the right way to go. If it's Seth, Cody, and Rock Roman, I think fans will shit on it.
See if it is true that Rock decided January 3rd that he was going to face Roman at Mania. What would have happened if Punk didn't get injured?
Well, that's what I was going to say, because if Cody had won the Rumble and Punk was still here, it would have been a bit of a kind of booting yourself into a corner thing, because you could have easily had Punk win the Rumble, right? And realistically, storyline wise, Cody's got no right to. Rock can walk in and do what he's done.
Yeah.
It's because Cody's won the Rumble and pointed towards Roman in the skybox that this has become a bit of a nonsense.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of things that don't quite add up with this, and I don't think everyone's saying different things. Mike Johnson's saying different things, Sean's saying things, Dave's saying things, but no one actually knows I don't even think Triple H really knows what's going on, if you get what I
no,
mean.
I said to you last night, I had a real worry that Rock is planning to take over and kind of oust Triple H, and I kind of come to the conclusion that might be overreaction, for the simple reason that, as you say, Rock's got a lot going on. We've got a thought today that he might be planning a sequel to one of his biggest movies, which I imagine would probably take a
Yeah,
long time.
it's been official then.
Well, there you
Moana 2
go.
today.
Yeah, he's not there. Doing. He's not doing. Do you know what I mean? He's not doing a full-time schedule. He's not even doing a part-time schedule like a Roman. He's coming back for at most 2 matches a year.
Oh, aye, definitely.
So if he's there, and he's probably there as well, because he's done excellent in marketing himself, and WWE probably needs some of that now more than ever because of the mainstream publicity that WWE are getting, and there's Rock kind of there. But I thought originally this is what this was. Rock is kind of went in and went, right, WWE's name is getting battered, and rightly so. I'm here. Let's take the kind of mainstream publicity towards Rock and this guy who's been champion for 3 years, who's unbeatable. That to a mainstream viewer. I'll give you an example. My partner, who's never watched a wrestling match in her life, she now knows that Rock is back because she's seen it on like she's seen it on
Aye.
kind of TikTok and something like that. That's kind of what they're trying to do with this. But to the likes of me and you and all the guys that are watching that are real fit, like kind of smart fans, we're not happy about this, because
No.
because Cody, we've invested in Cody from the time he came back at Mania 2 years ago. I always thought when you could see that Roman was going on a long-term run, you thought, right, who's the guy to end it? See when the music happened at WrestleMania 2 years ago, instantly Cody's the guy to end Roman.
Yeah.
That's exactly, and that from that to now, I still have that view. We've had Sammy, we've had Jey Uso, Solo's been mentioned, even Drew and the Clash. What I
Braun
never,
Breaker to an extent.
yeah, like it's always been Cody for me. I just don't like it, and I'll.
No, the one thing that confused me, I was at a couple of points. First of all, they kind of tied in. The Rock's the same guy who did not get along with Click in the
Yeah,
early 2000s because of their politicking their way to the top. I know that's exactly what The Rock's done.
yeah,
And to
Yeah.
go back to what I said earlier about, I don't know if Triple H knew The Rock was coming in. The Rock and Triple H have never really gotten along. There's always been that kind of respect there because obviously you need that respect, but they've never got on. Like The Rock never had had a one-on-one match with Shawn Michaels
Yeah, he called
because
him
they didn't,
Chad Frost in his show. I mean,
yeah,
for God's
because they
sake.
didn't like each other.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is The Rock going over Triple H's head because they've had that long-term dislike for each other.
It could be. It could be. I mean, I think, as you say, we will get more of our view tonight and we could look stupid. But I think for the time being, as we're recording this before the press conference, I don't know if they do it. I mean, my thought was that if they do Roman and Rock and Roman goes over, you put Cody in a match with somebody, you maybe do Cody Shinsuke at Mania just for an example, and then he comes out at the end of the night, cashes in his Rumble match. But that feels too predictable. But I don't want
There's a very
Cody.
much there's
I
a
don't want
aye,
Cody Seth. I don't.
no there's a very you mentioned something about it coming out the end after the match, a dusty finish.
It could be. It could be. And
I thought they would. When someone mentioned that last year when Solo obviously was banned for ringside, came back. We all know what happened. Roman won. Someone put they could have done a dusty finish because the whole story was a bit dusty. I watched the. Don't you remember the Cody Heyman promo?
yeah,
Just after Rumble where he was talking about Cody's family was skint and Heyman gave Dusty a job in ECW.
yeah,
They both cried obviously because Cody cries at drop of a hat. So the full thing was about Dusty, and if they ended Roman's reign, pun intended, with a Dusty finish, then it could have been they couldn't tie a neat bow on it. But obviously they didn't do that. So
yeah. And again, we'll see what happens. I'm actually contemplating staying up to watch it because I'm so intrigued as to what they're going to do.
yeah, I
Because
won't. I can't stay up. I was on night shift last night.
uh,
It's not happening.
I'll give it a try, but I can see myself struggle. But again, it'll be on in the morning. We'll see what happens. But I mean, we've obviously been doing the reviews of the matches in the recent weeks in television. I really enjoyed Vengeance Day. I thought
Yeah.
the turn was brilliant. I liked the Obafemi and Dragon Lee match. Have you watched Dynamite yet?
No, I've not a chance. I heard the Hangman Swerve was really good.
Hangman Swerve was excellent, and the tag match is good as well.
I've seen what happens. I've seen the ending. I've seen obviously the title change. Spoilers, but I I I'm I don't know. I don't know about Sting and Darby as champs. I don't know if you. Obviously, it's getting away from the main thing, but I don't know if you have Sting retire as champion.
You could do. Obviously that's the young Bucks just win, and I think Sting will be a guy to kind of give back on the way out. I don't think the young Bucks need it, but
No,
I'm
I
not
like I
sure.
like the idea of Young Bucks, Sting and Darby because I think
Yeah.
if Sting obviously wants his best match, obviously wants his last match to be the best match possible, and there's no other tag team really. Maybe FTR,
Probably not. I don't think FTR
but
would be right for his style, if that makes sense. Like I think FTR are
yeah, but
phenomenal.
if you want the best tag team match in AEW, there's only one tag team you go to.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd agree with
As
that.
much
But
as we don't like them as people, they're unbelievable talents.
no, I would still say one of my favorite matches in AEW was
Steel cage.
the steel cage. But see, do you remember the first? I think it was the first Double or Nothing. The ladder match between the Lucha Brothers and Young Bucks.
Yeah.
That was one of the best AEW matches. I would say that was a better match that night than Cody and Dustin. I'll die on that
You've
hill.
also got watching old man bleed for 20 minutes wasn't it for me? But
Yeah,
I get why because the emotion and
yeah,
both men loved it. But you've also got like Omega and Hangman versus the Young Bucks at Revolution.
yeah. That as well was a good one. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we can criticise all we want about what they are as people, and fair enough. But yeah, we can't deny, and I think they're the right opponents. And I'm looking forward to Revolution. But Revolution aside, well, Revolution's before WrestleMania, but let's get our WrestleMania cards in. Right, are we going on there? Right, are we going on the assumption here that this is our fantasy cards, or is this realistic cards? What do you think?
I've gone for kind of a mix
Right, so have I.
between what is set in stone and also what I just really want to see.
Right, how are we starting this? Are we working from the main event and working our way down, or
I say we do all the titles and then
Right,
go
okay.
for all the singles matches.
Right, okay.
Cool.
You go first.
For the Universal, I've gone for the triple threat. I've got Roman, Cody, Rock.
Okay, I've got Reigns. I'm sticking with it. I'm hoping that it's Reigns, Cody, and Rock's the guest referee. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I would
Yeah.
think, and I think that would be, if that's what they said at the press conference, I'd be delighted with that. And work towards Rock and Reigns, even if it's at Saudi or SummerSlam. WrestleMania doesn't need it.
No, but I went for when it came in. Obviously I wrote this. I wrote this before we decided on this date. So I've had this in my notes for a while. And I obviously had Roman Cody as obviously, and I just added Rock after SmackDown because I didn't want to take Cody out. My original thought was, oh, I'd do Roman Rock and then Cody Seth, but then I thought, nah, triple threat for me.
Right.
If I think you have to have Cody in that Roman thing, and I think a triple threat's the best decision.
Yeah, if it is, then I'd be fine with it. World Heavyweight Championship, I've went for triple threat, and I've changed this. I changed this after Monday night. I went for Seth versus Drew versus Sammy, and I've got Drew winning.
Yeah, I've gone for that as well.
I've got Drew going over.
I would probably have Drew win as well, for a few reasons. First of all, it'll get him to resign, which they need him to resign because apparently he's still not signed, and his contract's up not long after Mania, so
Yeah.
they need him to sign now. And the thing with Seth Reigns has been good, but there hasn't been a match I've wanted him to win. I
No.
wanted Shinsuke to win. I wanted Finn to win. I wanted Drew to win. Maybe not Jinder, but that's a different story. I wanted Jay to beat him. I think Jay Seth on Raw. I wanted Jay to win that. But yeah, we've not had a. I've not wanted Rollins to win a match that he's had, which is a shame because I like Seth.
Yeah.
But I hate his theme. I much prefer
it's-
his old theme. I
going
get
on.
crowd singing and all that, but I prefer his old theme. The sort of fast paced, not long like not chosen one. Always a plan B Seth with the authority. That's
Yeah.
that Seth theme. I think that's prime Seth Rollins 20 before his knee injury. That's the best Seth Rollins I've seen.
100%. Between probably Rumble 2015 to his injury, I would say that's the best version of Seth Rollins. 100%.
It was kind of let down by that feud with Kane, but
Yeah, even
that,
the feud with Ambrose, I wasn't. I know people liked it. I thought at times it was a bit corny, but it was probably more the way they were pushing Ambrose. They were pushing Ambrose as an idiot.
yeah.
But
I don't know if you had if you I recently listened back to his Talk Is Jericho with Moxley. Aye. And he said the last thing that Vince said to him before he left was, "We wasted you."
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Which I can't disagree with.
No, definitely not. Remember they had them coming out with a gas mask and
You had a very simple story. You had someone turn on a pal, the other pal had cancer, and you turn him to a germaphobe.
Yeah.
And then you feud with Nia Jax, and then they.
I didn't mind the Nia Jax stuff. It was just at the time though, you knew he was leaving. It was. I remember he did the thing with EC3, and you just thought, yeah, that's not what this heel turn should be.
No.
He should be like. I know they tried to compare him to Bane and things like that. He should have been that type of heel where he should have been Brian Pillman. Let's be honest. Should have been Brian Pillman. Yeah, should have been loose cannon Brian Pillman.
Aye.
Right, there's 3 reasons I want Drew to go over. First of all, he was obviously denied the WrestleMania moment when he beat Brock. Right? I think that's number one. I think he deserves that moment. Secondly,
I didn't even think of that.
Secondly, it gets him to re-sign. Thirdly, he takes the title to SummerSlam. And him and Punk, I think, writes itself.
Oh, 100%. That t-shirt's phenomenal.
Yeah. Fantastic work for Drew. Like,
Drew's been exceptional.
He came out in a hoodie with a zap, and you're kind of thinking he's got something underneath that, and then but you were so surprised that he'd actually done the shot.
His TikTok, did you see his TikTok? Don't skip tricep day.
Yeah, Yeah, I really like what they're doing with Drew. And again, you've got the other caveat of what do you do with Priest with the Money in the Bank? That's something we can kind of figure out down the line. I would keep. I think to save that, I don't think that's a main event. By the way, I think main event night one is the next match I'm going to talk about. If it's not Roman Roman Rock kind of thing.
Aye.
I think. Thirdly, obviously, it gets him to re-sign. But Drew, Seth was losing the title anyway, and I think they'll give Seth a bit of time off to try and recover. He'll do WrestleMania,
Yeah.
and I think you'll maybe not see him for a couple of months.
He needs a break, man. The
Yeah,
bloke hasn't stopped.
he hasn't stopped, and I think that's kind of one of the reasons that I've kind of, despite the kind of gimmick, which I think sometimes is ridiculous, he's been so good on Raw. He's carried that. He's made that title. He has made that title. I mean,
Yeah.
we thought originally this is going to be a secondary title. It's not been.
Still kind of feels like that.
It does, but it's there. Like it's there. You're getting a world title match at every pay-per-view, which I'm a big advocate of. And I don't think anybody else but Seth could have done that with that title. I think he's
Aye.
100% the right guy for that job.
I've definitely the right guy.
Yeah, so we agree on the World Heavyweight Championship. The next match we know has happened. It's been confirmed. Io versus Bailey. I think that main event's night one.
I think it should.
Yeah.
It's with Roman gone. It's been the best story on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I would have. I love the segment. It was kind of overshadowed by the stuff at the end, but that segment and that SmackDown was phenomenal.
The Japanese talking I thought was good.
I would have. I think they could have left it. I think they could have waited a few weeks, but maybe they wanted to do that because they knew what the reaction to the main would have been.
Yeah.
So they want to have something good on the show.
Yeah.
But I think if they waited a few weeks for that, it would have been better.
Yeah.
But I still think it was phenomenal.
And I would save
got
the Bailey buddies.
The fact that Kota Kai wasn't there, I think.
At least she was filming stuff with ring gear on, so that suggests she might be doing something.
I'm not sure. I just saw. I don't know. That's the first I heard of that. But the fact she wasn't there, I think. I don't know if that was deliberate or she had something else planned.
Yeah.
But the fact she's not there and she put that thing on Twitter, I think she's sort of in the middle now. Almost the Jimmy Uso role, because, or maybe closer to Jay after Sammy, because Dakota's kind of been just in the back. I really like Dakota Kai, but she's kind of been in the background and not done. Obviously, she's been injured, she can't do much. But with this now, she can kind of take centre stage almost in terms like picking Bailey or Io, Asuka, and Kairi.
Mm-hmm. Right, next one, the Women's World Championship. Rhea defends against the winner of the Elimination Chamber. I've got Becky down, but I also think I would be okay if it was Liv. Either one of those is fine. Who you got?
I've got Becky.
Becky. It's probably going to be Becky, but I think Liv.
Because they've been kind of, the fact they've got the two biggest stars on Raw, and they haven't met, says to me it's going to be Becky at Mania.
I would say it probably is Becky, but I think Liv is a good option to go down as well if they went down.
I think Becky will be a better match, but
probably.
I think Becky's just a better wrestler.
Yeah.
No harm to Liv. Like, being compared to Becky Lynch isn't a bad thing.
No.
But I just think you get a better match at Becky. Like, Rhea Charlotte is my favourite women's match of all time. I don't watch like your Stardoms and all that, so I can't really talk about them. But I don't remember a better women's match than Rhea Charlotte for last year.
No. Not at all. No, I would say, yeah, in terms of the match. Rhea deserves. I would have Rhea go over. I don't think Rhea needs to lose the title yet.
No. I would. Who's want to take it off her? But is it Jade?
Yeah, possibly. It could be Jade. It could be Liv. I mean, Liv would be a good option. I would be personally fine if it was Liv.
The last time Liv held a title, it wasn't good.
I know, but I think
the Ronda stuff and that, it wasn't good.
Probably is Jade. I think Jade. I want to see them do something with Jade later on, as we'll get into. But Rhea, Becky, we're both agreed on.
Yeah.
Right. What do you want to do next? Intercontinental?
Yeah, I've got IC next to my list.
Right. Gunther. Who you got?
I've gone for another triple. I realised I've got a lot of triple
Oh,
threats in this.
triple threat.
Gunter, Braun Breaker, and Chad Gable.
I've got Gunter versus Gable as fantasy, but I don't think they'll do it. They seem to be going down Gunter and Jay, but I don't know what that's.
I think no, it can't be Chamber because Gunter can leave the country.
Can do Chamber. So I was thinking, where
Maybe that's
can
just
they do that?
maybe that's a big Raw main event because Gunter's had a few of them.
Yeah,
He said he had Chad. Who else did he had? He had Kofi the other week.
he had
He
a
had
really
Woods
good
not long
match with
before that.
Bronson Reed.
Yeah, Gunter's having good matches. I genuinely think that triple threat could be one of the best triple threats of all time.
Yeah.
Gunter, Braun Breaker, and Chad Gable in a big Mania setting. Or I genuinely think it could be up there one of the best triple threats of all time.
Yeah. I want Gunter and Gable, I think would be great.
There's a lot of comparisons between Braun Breaker and Brock Lesnar. First of all, they're both absolutely rapid.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember when Brock, this video that goes about on Twitter sometimes, video Brock Lesnar run the ropes. It's
No.
2 strides across the ring.
Mhm.
I'm not even, he's rapid. And you know what Braun Breaker's like? He's
Yeah.
quick as balls. So, aye, I think that could be up. If give that 20 minutes, and I think I think we get a special match.
Yeah. I'd be keen on that. Right, next match I think is set in stone. United States Championship, Logan Paul versus LA Knight, and I think you're going to reply, yeah.
I don't have that. Well,
Oh,
okay, I've got a ladder match.
right, okay,
I've got a
right,
multi-man ladder match.
yeah. Now,
Logan Paul, Kevin Owens. This is just a bunch of guys I want to see. That's what really my story. Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, Ricochet, LA Knight, AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, Dragonov, and Andrade.
that'd be good.
Because I think if there's one match that I think Logan, we saw him in Money in the Bank, he was great. And a Mania multi-man ladder match with this lot, I think could be phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think it will be yours. I think it will be Logan LA Knight because they've kind of built that. Logan kind of always name drops LA Knight in promos. I think yours will happen, but I just want to say that.
Yeah, no, a ladder match. I'd be all for a ladder match. And you brought a name in there that I thought Trick was going to win at Vengeance Day.
I think I'll get onto that.
Right, I thought Trick was going to win at Vengeance Day, and I thought we would see Ilya face Gunter. They would call him up because Brock's not there.
I think I'll get onto that because I've got an idea.
Okay, right. Next one, what we doing? Tag?
Yeah, I've got tag next.
What you got?
I've gone DIY versus the Creeds.
Right, okay, I've got a 4-way involving both of them.
I'll get onto my 4-way.
Right, I've got Balor versus DIY versus Creeds versus New Day.
I don't think any of it will happen. The match I think will happen is Judgment Day Awesome Truth.
Awesome Truth. That's yeah.
I think that will happen.
That's exactly
I think that will happen. But I'm not bothered.
I completely forgot.
I like the R-Truth stuff.
I completely forgot about
Mania. Not for a Mania title match.
It's
I
Balor.
like them.
It's
funny.
It's them against R-Truth.
Judgment Day Awesome Truth.
Yeah.
I think DIY Creeds screams. Make it 2 out of 3 falls and you've got takeover right there.
I would love to see the Creeds in a high position. I mean, I think they'll be part. If it's not, I think there'll be a 4-way. They'll do the showcase thing. If it's not,
I've got that.
Yeah,
I've got our showcase.
Yeah. Right. What other belts are we missing?
I've got the women's tag.
Women's tag.
I've gone for a 4-way with this.
Okay.
I've got Damage Control, Kaden and Katana. Damage Control is Asuka and Kairi. Kaden and Katana, Chelsea and Piper. This is fantasy. Well, maybe not fantasy after the Rumble, but I've gone Naomi and Jordan Grace.
Okay. Yeah, good.
And
yeah, be good.
It's different now because obviously Scott Demore's just left.
Yeah, I think Scott D'Amore was a big part of the relationship.
Yeah. If in a fantasy world I have Naomi, I'd generally have Naomi and Jordan Grace win that.
Yeah, possibly.
Because WWE love a headline and having someone sign with Impact holding a WWE title, and then them on Impact and have more impact on WWE telly. It's best for everyone.
I
And
would have
also, they two would be great.
I would have taken out my four-way would involve the three teams, the first three teams you mentioned, and I would probably have Alba Fire and Isla Dawn in there as the fourth team.
Yeah, I genuinely forgot they existed.
I think it will be something like that, though. It will be a four-way
Yeah.
just to get folk on the card. Right, first match of the kind
I've
of.
got one more title. I've got one
You've
more
got one
title
more
match.
title. Okay.
I've got Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams for the NXT title.
Okay. Think they would do
I
the
think what you
NXT?
do, you've got, is it standing delivers the night
Standing
before,
the
is it?
standing deliver is the Saturday afternoon.
Oh, aye. I'd have that go to a non-finish,
Okay.
and then you have Triple H come out and say there's only one place to finish this WrestleMania, and you add that to probably night two because they can't have wrestled the afternoon and the night. I'd add that to night two.
Yeah. Good
I
work.
think there's one. I think Triple H. If there's one person who's going to have an NXT title on WrestleMania, it's obviously the women's at 36, which was apparently Vince's idea, which I didn't. It was someone. It came out as Vince's idea
What one was that?
that Charlotte Rhea at 36 for the NXT title.
Right.
Right,
Okay.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
That was Vince's idea, which I always thought would be a Triple H. That sounds like a Triple H idea if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
But it was actually Vince that said, no, I have the NXT title. So I'd still have Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams as the NXT title. I
Right.
think to really showcase because those two are extremely talented pair of wrestlers,
Yeah.
obviously. Trick, phenomenal. Crowd, his reactions back that was unexpected but phenomenal. And yeah, they're just great. And I think sticking at a Mania would be unbelievable.
Right. How many non-title matches have you got written down?
5.
I've got 3. And I
Right,
don't have a
go.
celebrity match.
No, near that.
But I think there will
What
be one of
what
something.
celebrity would you have? Stick Pat in a match?
Possibly. Pat or Bad Bunny. But I don't think we've maybe probably seen maybe Bad Bunny and Dom maybe, but I think we'd maybe have seen that before now. We'd have seen some sort of build.
Would you have someone?
Does
Made
Logan
that
count as a celebrity match now, to be fair?
no, he's signed that. He's a
Yeah.
wrestler. He's under WWE contract. He's got a title.
Yeah. I know,
I would have someone made a suggestion that I didn't even think of until you mentioned celebrity match. Would you have Zac Efron do a match?
That'd be good. That'd be good. Yeah.
If you want eyes on WWE, Zac Efron's one guy.
Yeah, that could be
If you want to
interesting.
boost the if you want to get the female audience up, you stick Zac Efron in WWE telly.
Yeah, I want to actually. I'm meaning to go and see Iron Claw. Actually, I'm really.
Yeah, I need to see it as well.
I think we need to do a show on the Von Erich thing because I think it is the most unique story in wrestling. It's unbelievable. Right, first match.
Chavo Guerrero said this is Zac Efron was phenomenal.
Said he was really good. Yeah, said he was really good. Yeah, and he's done the stuff with the Rock and Baywatch as well. You'd imagine he might have a.
He's probably in a film I've seen at some point.
Do you remember? I think it was a SummerSlam. They were going to do the Wyatt family against Big Show, John Cena, and Justin Bieber. Remember that?
Yeah. They might have Justin Bieber pin Bray Wyatt.
That would have been horrendous. But we will see something like that. There'll be some sort of.
That would have been so funny.
There'll be some sort of celebrity interaction. Like last year was probably the kind of Snoop Dogg and Miz thing. We'll see something like that. It will be.
Have Punk host.
Well, I was going to actually say
I'd see Punk host it.
He's meant to be at the press conference.
Yeah, he put in his Instagram stories flying it. He put in his Instagram stories at the airport.
Yeah, could be.
Well, I think Punk would be a phenomenal host.
Yeah.
You can have wee backstage things with The Rock. Maybe Austin might be there as well. I think Punk would be a phenomenal host. Then you have him versus Shane.
That'd be funny. In terms of celebrities, though, there's not many off the top of my head that I can think would do something. Maybe Bad Bunny, but I think we'd have seen it before now. We'd have seen some sort of build. McAfee might do something, but again, I'm not mad keen on celebrity. I think this has got to be a proper old WrestleMania. And I think it doesn't really need celebrities. It's going to have The Rock.
That's what I was going to say. I just forgot The Rock.
Yeah.
He's a pretty big celebrity.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. Right, I've got 3 matches written down. You've got 5. You go first.
I think we'll both have. I think we'll both have 2 in mind.
Okay.
Jimmy versus Jay.
Yep.
Jimmy versus Jay. Yeah.
Tribal combat.
I've just gone. I will no. I'll have a no. I'll have no DQ or something along the lines. But Jimmy versus Jay. I think it's.
And I think the
probably
way you
stick
get
on.
to that is have him cost Jay the match against Gunther at a Raw.
Yeah, that's a good
Builds it
shout.
up. Yeah,
I'd do
think
that. Yeah.
I have got Solo Sikoa versus Randy Orton.
I've got that as well.
Yeah.
That wasn't one I thought you would have.
I
But
thought
yeah, I've
that
got that
it
as
makes sense. It makes sense. I think Solo's on the legend killer type of thing, and there's no better opponent, and they've already kind of built it a wee bit. I think that's the way to go, and I'm not. I
Yeah.
think Solo and Randy's would be quite a good match, to be
It's
honest.
the most 3-star match I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I think it'd be solid. I think it probably gets Solo. Could you argue that they've kind of not really used Solo right since the Cena one because he destroyed
Yeah,
Cena?
I don't think he's won.
No,
I don't think he's pinned anyone. And he
Really?
just he squashed John Cena and pinned anyone.
Yeah, and you thought then, right, they're making him into a star,
Yeah.
and they've not really done much, and this could be a way to get him back. Solo Orton, I think we're both agreed on. Which the next one?
This is the one I think you'll have, Bianca Jade.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. The only other thing I thought of was maybe having them as a tag, but Bianca Jade to me just.
Aye.
I think SmackDown
said
needs
this
her.
to you.
SmackDown needs her.
Yeah. Said this to you on one of I think it was the last one. I think it was the Rumble. Not have a non-title women's single match since May of 22, I think it is.
Yeah,
And
which was a pillow
if
fight.
you want, yeah, great. Cheers, Vince. You've got, and if you want 2 women to do that, Bianca Jade. There's no, I don't think there's many better 2 in the roster. You go out there and have a 15-minute great singles match. And Jade's a bit, Green's harsh, but she's not Charlotte. She's not prime Charlotte
Nah.
or prime Sasha. She's not top tier. And for someone to get a top tier match out, I think Bianca Belair.
Yeah, no, I'd 100% agree. I think Bianca Jade is probably the best non-title match you could do at the moment. Like we obviously had thoughts that we might see Sasha, could see Charlotte in like an appearance of some kind. It wouldn't surprise me if they maybe did something with her.
It depends on her injury.
Well, she's already training. I think. I don't think she's not.
No, she won't wrestle. I think her first match back will be SummerSlam. Personally.
Yeah. That she might do
Based on
something.
like reports and injuries, and I've had that injury before, and I was in the shelf for 6-7 months.
Like she could put the figure 8 on Nia or something like.
I don't know if she can. I don't know if she can fly, but because sometimes with that style injury, you shouldn't fly within what I think it's 3-4 months of it.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah,
it depends on like the grade tear and how the thing is, but sometimes you can't fly with them. So I don't know if you should be actually able to get there.
Yeah. Right, next 2. Right, 2 more. You've got 2 more, and I'm intrigued with these because I've not got anything written down.
I've sort of gone for the showcase.
Okay.
I've Judgment Day, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, Austin Truth, Street Profits.
Okay. Yep. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the Austin Truth Judgment Day, I think, as I said, that will probably be the tag match.
Yeah.
But I don't really want it to be. But you need to get them on the card because they've been sort of not the focal point of Raw, but they've kind of been a decent part of Raw. So I think you need to get them on Mania and stick them in there to be Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and Street Profits. I think you'll just have a bit of fun. Last year's showcase was great.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Ron and Ricochet, Alpha Academy, Street Profit might have been in there as well.
Yeah, can't remember who else.
4th.
Can't remember. That's
There's
bad.
folks screaming at their screens at the moment. I'm getting up, that's going to annoy me.
Alpha Academy, Viking Raiders.
Viking Raiders, aye. Yeah, and the other one, I'm surprised you didn't have this. I think this is a stick on. Ray Santos.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I think that's a stick.
Yeah,
I'm surprised Ray wasn't in the Rumble.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a stick on.
That's happening. 100% that's happening. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah. And it's a good, again, I like the way they're doing this. The Carlitos, the way Santos Escobar is phenomenal. The only one I was thinking, but I don't know if they'll hold it off till Mania, is Lashley's group against Carrion's group. I thought they might do something with that, but I don't think they'll hold it off to Mania because I don't think there's enough
Nah,
juice
that
in it.
probably Chamber.
I don't think there's enough juice in it.
I don't care about it.
No, it's-
Carrying Cross doesn't do it for me.
he's really. I
See-
thought he was going to come in, but I thought him and Scarlett in NXT were superb, and they've just completely not worked in the main roster.
And then even in NXT, like go through his opponents. You had Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Pete Dunne, Samoa Joe, Keith Lee, all these phenomenal wrestlers. How many good matches did he have?
Yeah, it was
Joe
more his
was probably his best.
Yeah, it was probably his entrance that did it for me as well. When I kind
Like
of
the Adam Cole promo, where I
Yeah.
still watch it now and again. It's spot on. He get given everything. You got the entrance, you get the gyro, you get the smoke, get the lights. But then the bell rings, and you go, "Oh, this guy's not good."
Yeah, no, it's true.
And the only good thing that the only thing that makes Adam Cole good is he rings the fricking bell, which is again spot on. Actually, no, yeah, good. That's unfair. A good match with Ciampa. His first match with Ciampa was good. Don't know if you remember it.
Yeah, I
Cross
think
Ciampa.
yeah.
That was good, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much in kind of agreement. I think we're obviously going to have to maybe revisit this when Rock decides to really
Ramona.
kill it. Yeah. What do you see if you were a fly in the wall at the press conference, and we could have flew out to Vegas and been there because it's free to enter apparently. What would you?
Yeah, but if you want a picture of Triple H and he paid $2.5 grand.
Oh, do you?
Have you seen that?
No, I didn't see that.
They put out special like fans can go. You put out
Yeah, it's
special
open to fan and
packages.
media. Yeah.
Yeah, but you put like the $2.5 grand, you get like sign posters and you get a picture with Triple H. For $2.5 grand, I want to beat Roman.
We've just seen something here that Rock has just done the Pat McAfee show as we've been recording, and this is a quote from The Rock during this podcast. Please don't check your Twitter. The Rock says this: "Those Cody crybabies, the ones for every 10 tweets, they're shoving a chicken McNugget in their mouth every 20 tweets. They're shoving 2 McNuggets up their ass. All you got to do is sit back, know your role, shut your mouth, and enjoy the ride that The Rock is going to take those candy asses on. So hashtag that, hashtag shut your bitch asses up, hashtag Cody crybabies." Yeah, we are getting Hollywood Rock. That's
That
that. If they do that, I would be fit. I would be happy.
Imagine-
If they turned them heel,
Imagine if after all that we still just get Roman Rock and Juice and Cody wrestle. But surely we can.
well, Cody's put a thing up on Instagram saying, "I've made my decision."
I saw that.
I don't know how they do this. I'm intrigued. I've probably never been as intrigued in a long time than what I'm intrigued right now because I feel that they've made such unnecessary booking decisions that they really need to get out of it, and they need to do something very special to get out of it to make this work. Because if it's going to be Rock, Reigns, Cody, Seth, I'm not invested in that.
But see, let's say Cody's in the picture with Roman. As there's 4 people in WWE, I want it to make sense. I want it to make sense. Rock, Cody, Roman, and Heyman are probably those 4 people.
Yeah,
Like I saw someone. Do you remember in the Raw after the Rumble, Seth and Cody had a promo battle on Raw, and Seth we dropped all these points about how good the World Heavyweight title is.
mm-hmm.
Someone made the point is like, what's that promo was good, but what's the end goal?
Yeah,
Because whatever belt Cody picks makes the other one look bad now.
mm-hmm.
But I do think if there's one person to fix it, it's Cody Rhodes. But
Yeah.
if he's on a mic and he's across the ring for the Rock, the Rock, Roman and Heyman, that's magic.
Nah, isn't it?
Aye. Roman's promo. I think Roman's a very underrated promo.
Roman's promos, and John Cena said this in Impulsive a couple of weeks ago, and I actually went back after it and kind of watched some of his promos in the Thunderdome. Roman's promos compared to what they were when he was the big dog are so good.
He's got this. The word aura is so overused.
Yeah.
but he's got it.
Yeah, and that's the only way I'm kind of thinking. Like, if it is Roman and Rock in the main event, it will be something to behold. It will be. They'll
Even
build
their
it.
stare down on SmackDown.
They'll build it as something special that you want to see. But you're also in the back of your mind thinking this shouldn't be happening. This doesn't need to happen at this point. But
No, but you still like I never obviously I grew I was born in 2000, so I've never seen The Rock, Prime Rock. Stuff with Cena, but even that I was like 10, 11, so I wasn't really proper invested in it. But now I get to see The Rock wrestle. I think Triple Threat's probably the best match you can get
yeah, possibly.
because I think The Rock will be very safe in terms of like in-ring style because of the Cena match. Did he tear his pec?
Tore has, yeah, I think it
Tore
was his.
something and
It's tore something
cancelled
really
a
early.
movie.
Yeah,
It cancelled a movie.
yeah. I think it did not delay Baywatch.
Something like that.
Something like that.
It delayed one of his crap movies anyway.
But he did have it. I mean, look back at his match with Punk at, I think it was Rumble. That's a good
Yeah,
match.
it's Rumble 13, yeah.
That was a good
Yeah.
match. So he's
I was
capable.
probably
But that was
aye,
10 years. That was 10 years ago.
aye.
That's. Are we getting that in 2024? Are we getting vintage, as Michael Cole would say, vintage Rock? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. As I say,
As long as it doesn't go Roman length.
well, that's my
Can he
worry.
go
If it does, it might be boring. Like,
can he go
and
half you can
it's
he
at
have
the
half an
end.
hour?
Can you imagine if it was a one night WrestleMania and this is
Oh
what we're
jeez.
getting? It would have been no, but it
Be
wouldn't
Roman
have.
Triple H all over again.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been, and that's
Especially if
where.
Cody's not in the pit. Especially if Cody's not in the mix.
Yeah, and I think the 2 night thing's been so good in that regard is that you kind of like last year's WrestleMania. It's still really hard to stay up, obviously, but it goes by really quickly. Whereas WrestleMania, I remember
Especially night one,
WrestleMania.
because night one was phenomenal last
Yeah,
year.
WrestleMania 35, the one that ended with the women's triple threat, was such a slog.
I'm convinced that show's still going on.
It was, but that was they obviously changed to the 2 nights after during the pandemic. They had to. That was the point where you were like, this can't. That 7 hours WrestleMania is just too much. It's
That's
ridiculous.
the only good thing that's came at the pandemic. Is that
Absolutely, absolutely. But we will be back next week where we will obviously do a post analysis of the press conference. We'll probably have a couple of these matches set in stone. We're obviously close to Elimination Chamber. And we're going to wrap up the show there. Scott, it's been a very eventful show to do. We've got our WrestleMania cards. Let's see if we're right next week. Thank you very much as always, mate.
no mate, cheers. I quite enjoyed that,
Pleasure. Thank you.